We don't use the World Wide Web prefix. We just use QWorship.com. All right, so you go and click this button that says sign up. And as soon as you've clicked the button, it's going to take you to basically your login page. Now, I've already created an account, so I could just, put in my login details very quickly, and it's just going to log me in straight away. But for a newcomer, you would put in your details. That's your email address, your password, all of the above. You put everything in there, and the name of your church, all of those details, and then it's going to take you into a page that's asking you to choose a tier, a payment tier. Now, at the moment, QWorship is quite open, so everyone has access to it, so we're not charging anyone for use just yet because we're currently in the test phase. So you can choose any one of those payment tiers, but we won't charge you. Nothing's going to come out of your bank account just yet, but it's basically for you to have access to QWorship for the time being. Okay, so as soon as you've done that, it's going to prompt you to create a new project or to open an existing project. So for the sake of this tutorial, we're going to create a new project, and I'm just going to call it example project. All right, so create project, and this is what your landing page is going to look like. Now, I'm going to demonstrate for you three important things that you can do with QWorship. Just three important things, and then the rest of the QWorship functionalities, you can go ahead and test that for yourself. Have a good time, and then let us know what your feedback is with QWorship. Now, before I go into those three really key things about QWorship, key features about QWorship, I just want to show you what you can see on your screen first and foremost. So at the top of your screen, here you can see this top bar here. You have the QWorship buttons. These are the buttons that allow you to do QWorship, the buttons that allow you to insert things, to look things up, to create a new background, insert a new song, all of that stuff. So as from your left, you can see here that it says project. So you can create a new project, you can open an existing one, open a recent one, save projects, import presentations. So that means you can even import a PowerPoint presentation if you already have one. So maybe you have like a Bible study midweek service, maybe it's on a Wednesday, and you would like to create a PowerPoint presentation. So you can import your PowerPoint presentation into QWorship as well. So you can duplicate your projects, duplicate a recent project, backup presentations, restore print presentation, etc. So you have the option to do all of that stuff. Then you can insert items here as well. So this is where you insert songs. So songs that are going to be on your QWorship database would include songs like, You Are Alpha and Omega. Basically, any song that you're going to sing would be on your QWorship database. So you have the option to also import those songs into your service so that you can project your song lyrics onto the screen. All right, so you have your hands-free Bible. Now, this is the standout feature. This is the key feature of QWorship that makes it stand out compared to everything else in the market. This is the part of QWorship where you can use your voice to project Bible verses onto the screen. So no longer do you need somebody behind a computer who is going to be typing out the verses manually and then taking a long time to do so and then projecting the verse onto the screen. With your voice, you can simply mention the Bible reference, Matthew chapter this, verse this, and then the computer, the QWorship software would be able to listen out for your voice, turn it into text, and then process that text and project the exact verse onto the screen. All right, and it does this in 0.2 seconds, which is lightning fast. All right, so this is the standout feature for QWorship. Then you have your on-screen Bible, which is where you are able to manually look up verses if you don't really want to use the hands-free version. You also have your church announcement. So this is where you upload an audio recording, of a church announcement. You have your slide canvases. You have your video, image, web page. So you can import a web page here as well. And if you have anything you want to look up during the service, using this web page function, you're able to look that up as well. You have your assets. So this is where all your media assets will be. So these are all, by the way, backed up on the cloud. So you can import assets into the cloud, and this is where all of them would be. All right. Then you can also import songs into Songbook. You can add a new song. All right, so this is where you'd be able to manually type in a new song. Let's say, Take Glory, Father. All right, and then you can add an alternative title. Then you put in the verses here. Take glory, Father. Take glory, Son. Take glory, Holy Ghost. Now and forevermore. All right, so that would be the song, and then you can put the author, just say traditional Nigerian worship as an author, and then copyright information, public domain. Okay, and then you can save the song. So now you've added a new song to your songbook. Let's see where it is. There it is. Take Glory Father, right? So it's right there in your songbook. This is how easy it is for you to add a new song manually. Okay, you can also import a song if you happen to have a docx version of the song or a .txt version of the song. So maybe you have Easy Worship, Free Worship. You can export your song database from those softwares in a .txt format, and you can import it into your QWorship database using this option here. All right. So that's how easy it is to import a new song. All right. You have your settings, integrations. With the integrations, we've integrated something like OBS. So you can see that here. We've integrated OBS. So this is where you'd be able to connect your OBS software to QWorship, and you'd be able to now control your OBS live stream or recording directly from QWorship. I think that's a really standout feature here from QWorship as well. All right, you have your guides, you have your help, etc. So basically, I'm just showing you what this top bar is able to do. Also, with this option, you have the ability to record your sermon. Okay, an audio version of your sermon directly on QWorship. You have that option as well. That's on top of being integrated with OBS, so you can directly record into QWorship as well. You have here that says listening. Basically, this is just like a sort of dashboard for you to determine exactly how sensitive you want your QWorship microphone to be in terms of listening out for your voice whilst you're mentioning the Bible verses. So you have the classic hands-free, which is a traditional voice command interface with standard Bible search, and then you have the standard hands-free Bible, which is an enhanced voice recognition with advanced search capabilities. So you can determine how sensitive you want the software to be in listening out for your voice. So if you want it to be more sensitive so that it can pick out what you're saying, maybe you have a little bit of an accent, this might be useful for you. So you can use the enhanced voice recognition if you have a little bit of an accent. But the good thing about the QWorship software is that the language model is able to adapt to your accent. So if you have maybe you have a slight twang to your accent, it is going to be able to adapt to your accent. So even if you're mentioning Bible verses, in an accented way, that's not a problem. We would still be able to pick up on what you're saying, as long as it's in English. At the moment, QWorship has not yet gotten to the point where we can use different languages. At the moment, we just work with English, but by God's grace, over time, we would have updates where we'll be able to add different languages to QWorship as well. Also, one more thing, the way the hands-free Bible works is through Bible references rather than Bible quotations. All right, so you would mention the reference, which is book, chapter, and verse, rather than what the verse is saying. So, for example, I would say John chapter 3, verse 16, instead of for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, right? So we're just mentioning the Bible references at the moment. On the left-hand side of your screen is where you have the sections of your church service. So, for example, on a Sunday, maybe you have at the very beginning of your service, you have a church announcement that you want to give. So maybe that would be your pre-service item. So before the service starts, you can import items into this section, and you have to click on the section first before you can insert an item. So for example, with pre-service items, I'll click on it and it says selected. Then I would go to insert item, and then I can insert any one of these things here. So for example, I can insert a song. Okay, I can insert a song. So let's say Take Glory Father that I've already put here. Browse song, and then search song, Take Glory Father. Now it's imported. So now I have that here in this section of the service. All right, I've imported it, which is, pretty cool, pretty easy. So that's feature number one, how to import items into your service. That's feature number one that I wanted to show you. Okay, now, you're obviously speaking, you can set up your whole slides and everything, but you need to be able to project it to your screen. So as soon as you click this that says go live, just to confirm, you can still see my screen, correct?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Good. All right. So as soon as you click go live, what it does is that the QWorship creates a pop-up screen that basically shows you exactly everything that you have on your or in your slides. So that's what the main congregation will be able to see, on the computer screen, on the church screen or projector, right? So they can see your go live screen. Now, the second thing that I wanted to show you is how to change backgrounds, how to change the slides, how to customize your slides, right? So you have this button here that says background. You click on it. You can change the color. You can select whatever color you want. You can change the color. You can go white if you want to. I'm not sure why you would want to, because then the color of the text is white. So you have white on white. People wouldn't be able to see that. But yes, you can change the color and apply the background, and you're good to go. You've changed the background. You can do more customization using this button here. That looks like a settings wheel. You can, slide settings. You can change the transparency, so you can remove that, faded out black box. You can change the size of the font. You can go extra large. You can go 4 extra large. Probably what you might want in your church might be like maybe 2 or 3 extra large would be enough. Something this size. Okay. You can change slide transitions. You can have a fade out, slide up, slide down. So basically when you're going from one slide to the next, the transition from slide to slide, you can change that as well. Okay. You can also automatically move from slide to slide. Probably you would want to have manual control over that rather than automatically moving. You also have customization, where you can customize your slides. You can add your logo as well. And for example, customize custom logo, choose file. All right. I've clicked on choose file, sorry. And then I can, click on the logo. And there it is, bottom right. Here's my logo. Okay, so I can make the logo smaller. Now it's smaller, or I can make it large. There it is. Or I can move the logo from the right-hand side to the left-hand side. I can move it to the center if I want to. I mean, I don't know why anyone would want to do that, but I can pretty much put it wherever I want to on the page, as long as it's in the 4 corners or it's in the center. All right, so let's say I leave it at the top left, and then I make the logo medium. All right, that seems reasonable. Okay, so I can also add my social media handles as well. So let's say Facebook is QWorship.com. Instagram, same thing, QWorship.com. All right, so you can see at the bottom left of your screen, that's where the social media handles will be. So I have that much customization for QWorship. Once again, actually changing the background, I can use an image if I wanted to, rather than just a plain color. So I can either use one of these assets, all right, and then apply background. Excuse me. In fact, better still, because of Wi-Fi, let me use the choose file option. So I can choose a file and use that file instead. Let's go to QWorship backgrounds, and then I'll pick a file here, upload, and then apply background. There it is. So now I've changed the background of QWorship. So basically I have a lot of customization that I can do here for QWorship. So I think it's good if you're able to go ahead and just, play around with this and see what you like about it. And then the third thing that I wanted to show you as well, which are really 2 things, but I'll put them under the same category, would then be how to put up your hands-free Bible and also the on-screen Bible as well. So you can see this option here that says a QWorship logo. So that's a Q there, and then Bible. So this option here is what I would click, and it would automatically activate ask me if I want to use the microphone, if I want to allow QWorship to, start listening out for using the computer's microphone. So I would click the allow button here, but obviously because I'm on Google Meet with you, I can't do that now, because then it's going to switch the microphone from Google Meet to QWorship. So in church, whoever is behind the computer would click allow, and as soon as they do that, what they would then do is this button here that says on, you would toggle it off and then back on. Okay, you toggle it off and then you toggle it back on, and the moment you do that, QWorship it's started listening. All right, so that's when you can start to give your commands. Jeremiah chapter 4 verse 6, John 3:16, Matthew 11 verse 1, etc. You can start to do all of that stuff. You can start giving your references. And the cool thing about it is that QWorship continues to listen. Okay, so it's not something where you would mention the first reference and then it would stop listening after that, and then you have to keep switching it back on and off. Back off and then on again. Sorry, you can just leave it on and it's going to keep listening out, and anytime it hears a Bible reference, it will automatically pull it up on your screen. So that really does help with making this a very seamless exercise. All right, so for now I'm going to leave it at don't allow so that I can continue showing what I want to show you. Then there's also the on-screen Bible as well, so I can type in whatever reference I want to. So let's say, for example, Psalm chapter 2 verse 4. Okay, so I can search the book of Psalms. It's searching. All right, there it is. So I can now project this verse onto the screen. Okay, so here it is, Psalms 2 verse 4. So these are the functionalities that QWorship has. Now, I haven't yet showed you OBS, but basically with OBS here, this is where, once I click on this is where all the controls will be for OBS, right? So what I would need to do is, obviously, to be able to show you this properly, I would need to show you how to connect OBS to this, but that's a lot right now, especially since we're still working on the integration to make it very seamless. But basically, that button there would allow you to have control of your OBS scenes. So you can transition from scene to scene. You can start recording from OBS, so you can start streaming from here. So you have the buttons to be able to do that here. So at the moment, the OBS is disconnected because I'm trying to use it to record right now our meeting on Google Meet. But besides that, we also need to one of the things that we're working on with the dev team is to make the connection seamless. So we're working on that at the moment, but we still have that option to that integrated option here with QWorship. You can still use QWorship to record your services and to live stream your services. You have that kind of control. But like I said, with the dev team, we're working on making it a very seamless connection. So that's what we're working on at the moment. But yeah, this is what QWorship is able to do at the moment, and I think that'll be the end of the presentation. So over to you now, sir. If you have any questions that you would like to ask, I would like to hear them.
All right, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome, sir.
Okay, for more indication on what I've seen there is like since the Bible is already installed, it's only the Bible that can be, or once you mention the Bible verse will come out.
Yes.
Then any other thing you need to do manual.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So when you mention the Bible reference, that's the one that's automatic. QWorship, as we're at the very beginning, so over time, by God's grace, we'll be able to get to the point where we can now use the same sort of technology to pull up songs. So when people start singing songs, then QWorship will be able to pull those out as well. When people start to quote verses, then QWorship will be able to pull out those quotes as well. But at the moment, the way we work is we work with Bible references, and we're quite specific with that because, the amount of computing energy it takes to even get the references to work is a lot. Exactly, it's a lot. But by God's grace, QWorship is going to keep improving, and then over time we'll be able to get the quotations working and even songs. But you know how, I don't know if you've ever heard of a software called Shazam. I think it's called Shazam. Basically, what Shazam is, it's a software application, or it's an application where you can hum a song, you can hum a melody into Shazam, and it will pull out the exact song for you.
Okay.
Right, exactly. So we can sort of integrate that kind of technology into QWorship here, where a person is singing a song and QWorship is able to, recognize the melody, and then it will bring out the song lyrics for people to read, to sing on the screen. So yeah, these are things that we have in the pipeline and we're working on, but this is where we are right now at the moment. Yes, sir.
All right, thank you so much. It's a great innovation.
Thank you very much, sir. We thank God.
Just also add, we are currently building the offline version of QWorship.
Correct.
Where you don't need to use internet. when you're using QWorship. That should be ready by the end of this month or latest beginning of next month. And also, we are also building the mic-less version of QWorship. So you don't need to use QWorship microphone to give commands. And like what Casey said, we have come to stay. Our job is to solve any media or IT problem in churches globally. And we are encouraging pastors to please help us spread the good news. One of the things God told us when we started this is we're going to have to use this to pull back money into people's pockets. What do I mean by that? Any church, let's say somebody refers a church to us, and the church, let's say they make their payment monthly, quarterly, or yearly. Whoever refers them will be getting a commission from the company either every month or every year. So when I put back money into people's pockets as well, especially Africa, where people are struggling financially. And also, we're also recruiting people back home that will represent the company. And in so doing as well, they will make money. So, sir, we'll be very happy if you can help us spread the good news among your fellow pastors everywhere in the world. Doesn't matter where in the world. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you, sir. I will.
Thank you, sir.
I'll do that. I really appreciate. God bless you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for the time.
Thank you, sir.
God reward you by the name.
Amen. Amen. So, do you have any more questions for us, sir? And any follow-up meeting or conversation?
No other question except if I can get the recorded or this particular recording.
Yes, sir. Sure.
Thank you.
I'll get it
Okay.
to you ASAP.
Well, one other thing we want churches to start doing now before we start selling QWorship is to please have access to the system, share it with as many churches as possible for free.
Okay.
Because so if you just like Casey said, if you go to QWorship.com, you'll be able to access the system for free for now. All you need to do is just to create a profile for yourself and start using it. And then people can give us feedback. Like I said, we'll be launching this officially in Dunamis, Abuja, next month. So I'm going there. Daddy and mommy already know about the system. And I don't know if you know Apostle Michael Orubo as well. Pastor Michael Orubo. I don't know if you know him as well.
Yes.
We'll also be going to his church. He's also part of this. Reverend Effion, Reverend Tiantia, George Zunwa, Winners Chapel, Redeem. We have quite a lot of them now that are part of us. So, sir, thank you so much. Sir, what we'll do after some time, we'll give you a call to find out how you're doing and see if there's any other support we can offer you, sir.
It's okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Have a lovely afternoon, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye, sir.
Bye.
All right, sir.